And the submarine dancers will be with us all evening as we embark on our tour around the country.
Here we are walking the Via della Rosa, the way of the cross.
Quanto costano I funghi?
What do you do? What is this step? What happens in Jerusalem? You go through a door, and you go into another world. And it happens all over. In one door that we went through, we had St. Anne, this beautiful medieval church, and the excavations of the pool from 300 BC. Here you come into this Ethiopian community. It's made of so many worlds, and you sometimes cross the door and you go through 400 years or more through the Ethiopian church. The benches there, as you go and just sit down for a moment, they'll show you some of their books, and I'll explain a little bit about the whole tradition and the Christian faith in Ethiopia. Okay. So the services are usually very long, and during holidays can go on for sometimes as much as 8 hours. And in the traditional way, they used to stand up all the time. And because of that, there was a way of leaning against special sticks. Okay. Thank you. You see, thank you very much. That's the way to lean, just to help you stand up for so many hours. They'd get really tired and sit down on the floor, but most of the time it was done.
This is the tomb inside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This is where the Catholics, Eastern Orthodox, and various other religions believe that Jesus was buried. This is what Larry likes to call the cistern chapel. It is a cistern in which Queen Helena is supposed to have found the pieces of the real cross. In the tomb in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the kids were given candles, which they lit. While we were on our way out of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the muezzin in the mosque nearby began his call to worship. It was quite a culture shock to emerge from this Orthodox environment, to hear the Muslims calling their faithful to prayer. In the Jewish quarter of the Old City, they're restoring a Herodian indoor covered street. These are some of the old pillars that held up the cover for that street. From there, we walked to the site of the upper room. This is not the actual building, but it is known that there was a two-story building on this site in Jesus' time. So this is the traditional spot of the upper room. Then we followed Gila to King David's tomb. And again, it is not the actual burial site of King David, but it's a traditional kind of place where his burial is observed. After all that walking, we took a little bit of a rest before going down to see the Wailing Wall, or the Western Wall. The Western Wall is actually the western wall of King Herod's temple. It's the second temple that was built in Jerusalem. The reason it's sometimes called the Wailing Wall is because the Jews pray there both for the destruction of Herod's temple and pray for the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem. This temple area is divided into two parts. On the left is the men's half, and on the right is the women's half. The men wear the yarmulke, the skull cap, as a sign of respect when they enter the area around the Western Wall. It is traditional when visiting the Western Wall to write a prayer on a piece of paper and insert it in the cracks in the wall. And those pieces of paper are left and they're taken out 3 times a year and buried. Lana is writing her prayer here. All that's left of the original wall are these large stones at the bottom, the ones with the stains on them. That evening we went to the Dallas restaurant for our final farewell party. Gila brought her family to this party, and she said it's the first time she's ever had them with her. We felt very privileged. This is her son, Ariel, and her daughter, Mariah. We also gave Gila and Kay gifts and thanked them for being our guides. This is Kay receiving her gift. Early in the morning on New Year's Eve, this is Kay Trepp in the hotel lobby making a final count of the luggage before we boarded the bus to head for Jordan. This is the Dead Sea, very, very early in the morning. This is sunrise. We're coming down the hill from Jerusalem. People talk about going up to Jerusalem. Jerusalem truly is at the top of the hill. You have to climb the hill from all directions to get to Jerusalem. As you can see by the clock, it is very early in the morning. We've already left the city and it's not 7 o'clock yet.
Unimportant in our very scientific and pragmatic work. To devote so much time to music, to me, seems really just wonderful. And keep it up. If anybody, which I hope, comes back to Israel, please get in touch with me. Mr. Warden has my address. Mrs. Tripp has my address. There's a couple of you who also have my address. Now, if you write to me, just write that you're with the Arroyo Choir. I'll remember you. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I may be slow at answering, or you may not even hear from me, but that doesn't mean that I didn't get the letter. I didn't read it very carefully and cherish it. If you come, please get in touch with me. As much time as I'll have, as much as I'll be able to, I'll definitely like to see you. And that goes not only for the choir kids, for everybody else in the bus. So just thank you.
Chicken coop or chicken farms at the right side. We're still in Hashbone Valley. Madaba, that's the land of fruit. And Madaba is far from here, about 12 miles. Madaba also the meaning the city of mosaics, because they have a nice mosaic map. It was built at Byzantine at 6th century AD. The map, that's for Palestine and Egypt. Please don't leave anything in the bus. Please don't leave anything in the bus, and make sure you don't leave anything behind you. It's very important. And always try to keep your passports handy. Also, try to keep your passports handy. Now I must say Happy New Year for everybody, and I wish for you a safe flight. And I pray for you to keep it together and to give your happiness. God be with you, and patience, He never forget you.
Smile. When you smile, the Lord loves you. Right.
We're now flying over the Alps. What we didn't know was we had another 20 hours of flight to still endure.
I haven't really said much on film. We're coming back home now, and we're looking outside the window, and I guess we're over some snow now. We're coming back home. We've had a good trip. I've really enjoyed myself. But I'm glad to be getting back to the good old US of A, land of the free and home of the brave. And I'm glad to be able to get back and find out what's going on in the playoffs. I gotta go to the bathroom. bed.
I want to breathe some good old-fashioned
I wanna go to bed.
Snog. Snog is here. We're home.
Turning around, going back. Why are we waiting? I don't know. Let's go, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Drag a bench chair. There's no chair up there.
Where's our game?
I talked to Hans twice yesterday. John called me saying he didn't have anybody to drive the van. And so I said, well, hey, we'll do it. Rainbow strap. I gave my first word.
Get your passports out for Alani.
Yeah, I know. I thought he was
Our green card.
Odale, odale.